to episode 298 of the Overlook Hour. I'm your host, Clark Little. Along with me, as always, is the man sitting across the table from me. He is wearing a long sleeve shirt. It is displaying several of the logos. We've got a chainsaw, and apparently is from the film Pieces. And he's a real piece of shit.
That's the intro?
Russell Fisher.
You're gone for a fucking month and you come back and describe my shirt poorly?
Also joining us in Atlanta, Georgia, wearing a short sleeve t-shirt that is white. I do not see a logo. Do you have a logo on that shirt, Randall?
No, this is a plain white t-shirt, but it does have a couple like coffee stains or something on it.
Oh, like your favorite band. It's Randy Michaelstadt in the plain white tees. Hey there, Delilah. Boy, I'm rusty.
That's the one.
Also joining us, doing whatever she does, but she does it well. It's Oksana Valerian Osachi.
Minus the times I got fired from this show.
Everyone gets fired.
Yeah. That's how we keep it interesting.
And rehired. Firing truly is one of my favorite things. I got fired.
You're going to go into that?
We won't go into that.
So what the hell? What is this? You were energetic all day. You've been pleasant to be around. I'm very happy you're home.
Thank you so much.
And then you came in here. You're wearing a headband.
I'm bringing it back.
But yet you came in and got on mic and went, whoa.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the energy.
No, energy is good.
Okay. You're drinking a blue Gatorade.
Blue Gatorade is the only Gatorade that's worth drinking.
I agree.
I bought some red Powerade this weekend.
You know that I've got acid reflux, I think.
So what's up?
Does my gurgling pick up on Mike?
I think that one did.
Yes.
Randy,
I didn't hear it.
See?
No.
You two need to be more cool.
You know,
Step one, wear bandanas like me, you
Oh,
subordinates.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. The bandana boys should have been reunited today.
You didn't bring me one. You brought me one last time.
I've got 12. 13.
You know, it's funny. Later on, we're having a guest fly out, and this week is the first time I've ever heard a little bit of acid reflex come out of him. You can hear it. I'm not sure.
Acid reflux, not
Reflux.
acid reflex. It's not a fucking elbow.
Anyway, you know, also, while Clark was gone, we had a few guest hosts in here. I just want to thank them all for coming out. We had Terrell Trotty first, Nick Nordlinger second, and Charlie Dickey third. You all did excellent. Thank you for hanging out with me. And briefly, I just want to address that when Charlie was on, Oksana and him were both terrified when our guest mentioned Charlie and Clark by name. Clark listened to that and said, I should have explained why that happened because it would have helped bring attention to it, as everybody forgot it happened. Although I think many of you listening right now are still horrified at it. Yeah, basically, I cheated. I edited. I stumbled upon a clip where I actually think David Lynch was eulogizing an actor from Twin Peaks who last name was Clark and played a character named Charlie. And I went, what? That was weird. And I just pulled it and I put it in there. And oh my God, I'll tell you, I know none of you can be in the room when we're recording unless we ever do like a live thing. But oh, that energy was palpable. They both, Charlie got wide-eyed. Oksana stopped breathing. And I couldn't have been smiling bigger. It was, dude, it's so good.
And you didn't say anything. And then, so here was my reaction. I'm like, this is weird. I know he did something.
Yeah.
And then you didn't address it. And then I forgot it happened.
I know. I get it.
Until we talked about it on the phone later.
Well, see, the show's fallen apart without you. Well, I think we did over 12 hours of content in 3 episodes.
I know.
It was like 8.
Which is why. Now, again, I appreciate your feedback. And, you know, when I ask you certain questions, like, yeah, I know you're going to give me an honest answer. And you gave me an honest answer today on a question that I had for you about concerning our interview that we had today, which will go up on Thursday. Great interview, by the way, and we'll talk about that at the end of the episode. And I asked you, and your answer to my question was, it was fine, but it was a little long. And I was like, well, you would know because my God, 2 3-hour
Yeah.
interviews. Terrell's was nice and tight,
Mm-hmm.
which is the first time that's ever been said about Terrell.
It's actually in his profile on many of the dating apps he's on. But he came in and he knew that he had to shoot, send some shots your way because of all the feedback from last time he was on. But he also knew that he didn't want to do too much and he wanted to stay true to the format.
Well, and no, he can give. When I take shots, I take shots with him right in the room.
Yeah.
So he can do the same. But no, Terrell did a great job, and Terrell finally brought up what I should have when it happened, because it was very clear to me when I was talking about the movie Leatherface that you had not seen Leatherface, and I just was like, I kind of just want to keep things moving. I think we're talking about two different movies, because I know this didn't show theatrically, so I'm glad he brought it up, because
talk about a weird thing that happened, and then we kind of moved on, because after it made sense to me. But we cleared that up.
A little bit too much drag queen talk.
Now here, let me put that was his influence right there.
That's fine.
Here's the thing. Who did the best? Who'd you like the most? Let's get this real drama going.
No, everyone brought what.
Oh, come on. This ain't a pageant.
No, let me explain something to you. I'm the best. Okay. So, they filled in. I was, going all over the place. I wasn't here for 3 weeks. So we just thought it would be better to fill in, and that's what happened. These were substitute teachers. Do you understand?
It was very different.
These are the replacements. The starter is back in the starting position where he belongs. Okay? I'm back at pole position. P1, baby. They're back doing practice runs.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy's in the driver's seat again where he belongs.
And it's nice to have you back.
Thank you so much.
It was a little weird having conversations with somebody paying attention to what I was saying. I didn't know how to play that.
That's fair.
Yeah, and I mean, that's why the Nick episode spun out of control.
Yeah.
That dude, man, we share a brain. It's ADD riddled, and we just want to keep going. Yeah, I don't know. It was a lot of fun. I'm very happy you're back.
And it was good to see, not all at the same time, but all 3 of the guest hosts were at the party last night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Charlie, Randy, you would have been so proud of Charlie. Charlie executed, the Irish goodbye he delivered was just a work of art, because it was an hour before I realized, hey, where's Charlie?
That's because the best. He knows what's up.
Well, Charlie does the thing where he'll show up to a party way early and it's fine, and we're just hanging out, and then when people start to come, Charlie's got to go feed his cat.
Yeah, you're looking for him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it did ruin the photo that the other 2 guest hosts wanted of all of them together, but...
Well, you're a Photoshop master.
I don't think I didn't...
Get in there.
Yeah, I know.
You're also a David Lynch deepfake master.
Wait, what?
You're also a David Lynch deepfake master, apparently.
Okay. Don't reveal that. Nobody needs to know the wizard behind that curtain. And again, it was a lot of fun. I'm glad you're back, and you did listen to every episode in entirety.
I did, except for the 19th time we had JTT on.
Oh, dude, and Jorge Torres-Torres, man, I love the dude. We actually hung out with them the day after we recorded, or that episode went up, at Another Hole in the Head, and I'll tell you, he is Randy if Randy was cool.
Hell yeah.
And talented.
I wish I was cool.
And good looking.
I wish all those things for myself.
You are all those things, you idiot. You just hide. The thing about Jorge is he's figured out how to use his presence to make like great documentary. And that dude's so fucking chill. He'll be back out here, and yeah, we're going to show more of his work, I'm sure.
Oksana, can I ask you a personal question?
No, don't. I know where it's going. I'll turn her mic off.
Has he ever talked about another person the way he talks about JTT?
Yeah, I'll answer for you. Yeah, there was a director pair, and we got him on the show, and I was very excited about
Not
it.
True.
And then
Not true. You talk. No.
I think probably Jason, but
no, I'm talking about male and female.
Yeah, there are two of them. You made a comment about them sleeping in a bunk bed together, and that romance ended.
If we would have done it on camera, it would have worked, and I stand by that joke, and I got them to laugh by the end of the episode. So
Did you?
win-win. Yes,
Wait,
I
how
did.
did you make them laugh?
I was talking about. I said something about. You said something like. You said something like you can't see
No
it, and I was like,
one
"No, dude, I'm nearsighted," and then he died out laughing.
Okay, and then we ended the episode.
I don't remember the context.
Yeah.
But let the record show. I rounded the bases.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because it was a home run. But no, Russell, it's very clear you were in love. Also, you were in lust with JTT.
Okay, well, he's a brilliant director.
That's fine. Look, we all have man crushes.
And in his synopsis, he used my description of empathy horror as an official part of it. So, hey, man, flattery will get you everywhere here.
Yeah, and it'll get blood going in your penis. So you've got Torres. I've got mine. Who do you think mine is?
Ooh, I don't know. I think it'd be creepy because it'd probably be a girl. Are you like? Is it like Penny Lane?
No. I'll play your game. I'll go man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, man's not as creepy.
I'm not trying to be creepy.
I know. That's what makes it creepy.
Oh my God.
Randy wrote a book on this. He gets it. Okay, fine. Randy, do you have a guess for him? I can't.
I don't have a guess now.
Wait, no, Dean Oliato.
There it is.
Yep. I remember because non-ironically on camera, you're like, that's a handsome man.
He's a handsome man. He's a handsome man.
I just had to actually think about it and I got it. Anyway, the guest hosts are gone. I did receive a lot of messages that went along the lines of, hey, these guys are really working out good. But I can't wait for Clark to come back and tear them down. So
again, these are substitute teachers.
I get it.
Okay. I'm here.
Yeah.
They're here.
Mm-hmm.
For our audio listeners, I'm at the top.
Mm-hmm.
And they're at the bottom building the foundation to keep me at the top.
There you go.
Okay. So why I need them to support me up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, everyone is, they all brought their own special skills. And I appreciate that I appreciate them for their time.
Okay. They were very supportive to each other. I don't know about you though.
And that's cute.
Yeah. It was very cute.
And now they're dead to me. They served their purpose. And now I crumble and throw them away.
Well, you were gone for a month. Do you have any cool stories or do you hook up with any strange
I had several weird Uber interactions.
Oh my God.
I'm talking one happened immediately as soon as I get into the Uber. I get into the Uber and it's this black guy originally from Boston. Now I know he's from Boston because he has on a Boston Celtics basketball jersey.
Mm-hmm.
He has on a New England Patriots hat.
No.
And he has another New England Patriots hat on the dashboard of his car. And he's talking about, Massachusetts and everything. So I put two and two together. As soon as, we're not even out of the parking lot. I haven't said a word to this guy. And he goes, hey, Clark, what's going on there, man? I haven't said a word to this guy. And he's like, Clark, what the fuck is that? I'm like, first of all, I was aback. I was like, what's happening? I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, look at that big old thick girl, that yum yum, with that old crusty white guy. He's like, what's this princess doing with this crusty old white guy? And then he sees two other black guys coming like near our car, and he's like, hey brother, come here. What's going on with that crusty old white guy with that bucket of yum yum? He said bucket of yum yum, referencing a woman. And they're like, I don't know, man. And I was like, oh boy, I've got 30 more minutes in the car with this guy. Then we get on the freeway, all the windows are down, and we're going 70 miles an hour.
Uh-huh.
All the windows are down, and he is just talking nonstop, and I can barely hear him. And of course, he goes into politics.
Oh no!
I'm like, oh god! And then he's like, hey man, the GPS is this way. I know the best way to get to the airport.
Oh.
And of course, it takes longer. We go downtown. There's no reason to go downtown.
He's probably picking up a bucket of yum yum.
At the end of the ride, though, he's a nice guy.
You should have recorded him.
I really did.
We should call him in.
Honestly, because the wind, it was bad. But then he was like, I was like, man, can you put the windows up, please? Because
I know from driving with you, you're an air conditioning, not a windows down guy.
well, especially not on the interstate, not all four windows
I
when
know
I'm
that.
in the back seat and you're in the front seat.
Well, I'm guessing he didn't have long hair.
No.
Because I like to have the windows down too, but my hair will go out the window and it looks fucking stupid. I can't do it. Then you open the door and it shuts on the hair and then I get scalped trying to walk. Real. That's happened multiple times.
Randy, have you ever had long hair?
No, maybe a little bit longer than this, but not like long.
How do you think shoulder length hair Randy would look?
Oh,
Terrible.
I don't know.
I don't know. We get like some Mick Garris vibes.
Oh.
I do think Randy's hair would
Maybe.
look like that, just straight. Like,
Should I go
like
Mick
one of
Garris.
those, like an Afghan hound?
Should I
That's what
grow it
Mick
out
Garris
and then
looks
start
like.
pumping iron and look like old school Henry Rollins?
All right.
Old school Henry Rollins had long hair.
He had long hair for a little bit, yeah.
You know how I don't know?
Because
Henry
you don't
Rollins
give a shit about
fucking
Henry
sucks.
Rollins.
Yeah.
Hate Henry Rollins.
That's it. You just had an Uber story. I'm dying. I haven't seen you in forever.
I told you today I didn't want to do like a 3-week wrap up.
Yeah, but come on, man. We missed you. The audience missed you.
I mean, if I think of something important, I'll tell you. But right now,
Nothing.
I went home. That was fine. And now I'm here.
All right. You want to just start the show then?
Yeah, you bringing in your guy?
Yeah, he'll come in. Again, now.
By the way, he's got to figure. I'm not paying his airline tickets anymore. So
Okay,
you got to figure something else out.
Well, here's the thing. Listen to his belly. I'll put a mic under the table and try and capture it, but he's been gurgling all day. And I don't know if Randy's going to be able to hear it, but it's really subtle, but it's there.
Okay.
All right, let's bring him in.
Good morning. It's December 12, 2021, and it's a Sunday. Today, day 2 of the weekend projects, and I hope you all are having a great time riding the fun work train. I've finished my calendar, but not my card. I'll try to get that finished today. Everyone,
Okay.
have a great day.
All right. Okay, David.
There was a copious amount of gurgling.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Dude, it's all day he's been like that.
Yeah.
Sort of, Randy, could you hear that?
I could hear a little bit. Yeah, it was subtle, but I could hear it.
Okay.
It was there.
Yeah.
'Cause I kept thinking
Also,
it
what
was
the
there.
hell is he talking about?
I have no idea. Card? What
I
card?
finished the calendar, but not the card.
His vaccine card? Dude, is he forging vaccine cards? Holy shit.
I thought he was talking about an advent calendar.
Me too. Oh, I almost watched a horror movie about a evil advent calendar.
Oh, it's called Advent Calendar, I think.
Did y'all watch
on
it?
Shudder? No, but everybody else has.
Hey, really? I thought about watching it.
Yeah,
And I didn't.
I think, maybe we should pay attention to what people are watching so we could like cover it. I think people call it like having, their audience's pulse or that just wouldn't be us though.
Yeah. Yeah, because we don't care.
We're out of touch.
All right. I think you got a little section.
You
little
ready?
segment. There we go.
Actually, did you have a favorite for the segment coming up? They all did their own take on the God-given talent you were born with.
Yeah, they were terrible.
Okay, all right. Well, here we go.
The TBR report.
That's how you do it, bitch.
I know. Dude, Terrell was terrified to try and attempt that. He just, I don't want to do that. I don't know how to
Just
do that.
make it your own, baby.
I know. It's fine. The day has passed anyway. All right. So found footage adventurer Thomas Burke writes in. Now, Randy, before you go, he mentions you in the beginning of this. Thomas starts, another screen life coming this week. Pause. Allow a brief moment for Randy to slip away for his run-of-the-mill potty break. Pause.
Clark gets it.
Yep, Clark definitely does. Optional. Place whoopee cushion firmly onto his seat. Scene. I don't know what's happening there.
Pretty good.
In 1999, two friends use a webcam for the first time and stumble across a mysterious browser game that may be haunted. This is the synopsis for Deadware, a newly released screen life horror film directed by Isaac Rodriguez, who also made these found footage films: Last Radio Call, Unknown Visitor, The Cop Cam, and more. Believe me, this is a less so plug for a friend of mine that I admire, and more so me trying to express how awesome I think this movie is. It's funny that last week you mentioned Tangled Web, giving you similar vibes to the Collingwood story. And I believe Deadware has the same aesthetic. Last week, y'all highlighted jump scares, which I think is the most horror fans can appreciate. And this movie certainly caught me off guard a couple of times with some. Deadware feels quite nostalgic to me because one of my films growing up was an early 2000s flick called Stay Alive, which also encompasses a cursed and or haunted video game. So if you enjoy screen life horror with the 90s vibe, definitely check out Deadware. It's available to rent on Amazon Prime. All the best, Thomas Burke, PhD, fingers crossed. So Isaac Rodriguez, the director of this film, we had to talk about it because at the original Unnamed Footage Festival, we showed his short film Cop Cam. And I didn't realize that this fool is just killing it. He's a pretty prolific found footage filmmaker. And he's worked, I should have had that ready, but he's worked on, hold on, my thing's loading. He's got 24 director credits under his name. And I haven't checked them all, but
Jack Bauer.
I'm pretty sure they're all in World Camera. And one of the films that Thomas mentioned, Last Radio Call, I don't believe that's available yet. But Unknown Visitor was on Amazon Prime last time I think we watched it there, right?
Yes.
And
Unknown Visitor Q?
Unknown Visitor Q. Unknown Visitors is a found footage film that's completely constructed of just doorbell cameras. It's actually just one doorbell camera.
The smart doorbell?
And it goes paranormal. I don't think it's a perfect film, but dude, it's incredibly interesting. And dude, Isaac's going to be a dude to watch. So if you're a found footage horror fan, definitely keep an eye open for him. And Deadware, the movie that Thomas sent me this week, is I'm just going to say I think it's incredible. I am a huge fan of Screen Life. And again, Screen Life is kind of like Unfriended, where everything we're seeing as an audience is somebody's monitor. And the thing I like about Screen Life is, as time goes on, people are more and more connected with their computers. And I think there's a lot of subtle language. You can do a lot with storytelling without actually just coming out and saying something. So exposition could be going to Wikipedia or, looking at IMDb. And even exposition could be what you delete if it's in a conversation. Now, the interesting thing about Deadware is it's supposed to take place in 1999. And, when you do that, the audience is going to have their eye out for anything that doesn't fit. And I'll tell you, there's a cell phone involved. It looks like a Nokia brick. There's a video medium that isn't Skype. It's actually something I never heard of. And we were here with Madeline, one of the other programmers for the Unnamed Footage Fest, and she looked it up and found out it's called Microsoft Net Meeting Online. I guess it went out of business or it became defunct at some point. But those little details are what we love. And, Unfriended, they didn't make up any websites. They used like Google and iTunes, and everything just felt very authentic. Now, I say that because in here we've got a search engine that's called Search Pile, and it's clearly a made-up search engine. But the name is funny, and it doesn't feel like it's really hiding this fact.
Yeah.
So it's easy to just move with it.
It works.
There's another thing that I've been thinking about, and it's the whole conversation about an alternate reality game and ARGs in general. Now, the thing with ARGs is that they're very personal. Like, you go into a subreddit for ARGs and, you go to a website and you deal with them, and they involve maybe decoding audio or going to several different websites or even jumping onto the dark web. The thing is, narratively, it's hard to encapsulate all that for a film, which would be super interesting. And I think Deadware, they did it. The story's about two people who meet up online and they get pulled into a game. And it's them playing the game. And the game kind of involves, it is a simple browser game, but it clearly opens up to more. And the aesthetic, the acting, the format, dude, I just fucking really like this movie. If you are a horror game fan, you'll know that a lot of them play with like found footage, mixed media vibes. This game features it's a point and click, but every now and then you have to, you open something and it will play a real video. That footage is found footage, and the aesthetic is beautiful. It's perfect. I have really nothing. Okay, no, I do. I have one complaint. And this is going to be splitting hairs in a way that I don't think people are used to. But we're watching two people having over a screen share. And the only thing that doesn't feel completely real is the fucking cursor. I've played games, I've watched people live stream, and the way that people use a mouse is kind of like there's a fucking manic energy there, and people are always kind of moving. We can't sit still. We all have ADD. And this mouse in the movie is so meticulous. It doesn't make any movement that's wasted. It kind of slowly goes to one point and is perfect. There's always like a click corresponded with it. Where if you've ever played a browser game, or even like Sega CD, like Willie Beamish is one of my favorite that I love to bring up. What you do is you just click all over the fucking place. You're trying to interact with anything. And there's a moment in this movie where they don't know exactly what to do. And there's a bookshelf, and he's like, well, maybe we got to click on a book. He tries 3 books very slowly, and then it's like, no, that didn't work. And I'm like, hell no. If this were a real game, you'd just be clicking fucking everywhere. And again, that's my only complaint. The story was engrossing, and Thomas, I got to give you a shout out, man. We run a found footage fest, and I really pride myself on trying to think about these films through and, keep in mind narrative and approach and how the story's different given the subject. And somehow we slept on fucking Isaac, man. He's one to watch, and I won't make that mistake again with him. This film right now is actually available too. So if you jump on Amazon Prime, you can rent it for $2.99. But I recommend you just buy it for $9.99. Help this dude out. He's making good film, and I highly recommend this. Did you guys have anything you wanted to add? I know we all watched it together.
It had one of the most interesting uses of a Ouija board that everyone's seen it a million times. But Madeline even said it might be her favorite of the year.
Yeah, it's very self-aware too, because it's digital, and they even have a conversation about like, hey, these are zeros and ones. How could this have any connectivity to the spiritual world? It's a very thoughtful film. Clark, thumbs up, down?
I saw 60% of it.
I wasn't going to out you there, but
I out myself.
That's it?
I saw 60% of the movie.
Did you like what you saw?
Sure.
Okay, good. Good enough for me.
This concludes the TBR report. This concludes the TBR report.
It's not exactly fair for me to weigh in, but yeah, no, what I saw, good stuff. I agree with you with the found footage stuff. The way that they implemented that into the story and actually through the game, was good. And also the game looked good. Yeah. I don't want to provide it.
Did you see there's a video that features some daddy long legs? Did you see that one?
No.
Dude, I don't know why. I thought it was some of the most captivating video I've seen in a long time. It's a nighttime shot, and there are daddy long legs walking around, and it's in a directional light from the camera. I just thought it was completely compelling.
Up and down. All right, daddy long legs. Randy, that's a spider.
I believe it's also a Savvy Bros film title.
Oh my God.
Haven't you seen it?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, of course he's seen it.
There you go.
Thanks for highbrowing my TBR report. Also, how'd you feel about Thomas taking a shot at you, dude?
That's fine. I have a small bladder. I have to go pee like 30 minutes into recording.
So do what our former guest did when he went on a 5-hour-long podcast and just pee in a bottle while you're recording.
Who did that?
Nah.
Our poltergeist guest, Zach's buddy. I can't pull his name right now.
Also, for the record, I didn't go
that's
to the
right.
bathroom
Yeah.
this week.
Yeah, you didn't leave this time. You set up this whole bit and then you just don't do it. Thanks,
I
Randy.
was good this week. Sometimes you got to
Randy,
break
you
the
sh-
rules, baby.
Randy, do you have the same type of oven and stove as we do?
Maybe it's electric.
Oksana, doesn't it look very similar?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What's the brand? Is it a Whirlpool?
I don't know, actually.
Go check.
Calvin. That was his name.
Okay, be right back.
Okay.
Calvin McCarthy.
I don't
Calvin
remember what
McCarthy.
brand ours is.
It's a Whirlpool.
Amityville Poltergeist.
Thank you.
Sorry, I got a COVID brain fog.
Randy, it should be right there up top.
Okay, we need a video component if you're going to make Randy hike across the damn room.
I think it's a General Electric.
Oh.
The General.
The General.
1-800.
Dollar General.
Shaq's going to pay you a visit. All right. Randy Michael, first of all, thank you for taking that field trip to get information that no one cares about.
I cared.
Other than me.
I'll pretend.
Randy, you got some movies to talk about. Now, you got a couple movies here. You know, you and your little fancy living over there in Atlanta. You know, right now, you have the advantage over us in terms of the theater scene. Russell, I don't think there's any argument right now because Randy's been getting the stuff early, you know?
It's bullshit.
He's going to be talking about 2 highly anticipated films that he saw advanced screenings of because he's a little fancy boy.
Yeah, that's me. I am quite fancy. The first one I saw this past Monday night at I'm going to say quote unquote sold out screening at the Plaza because they're still limiting the amount of people in the theater. But it was officially sold out. I saw the new Sean Baker film Red Rocket starring Simon Rex as Mikey Saber.
AKA?
I don't know. I don't know anything about Simon Rex.
Oh, Dirt Nasty.
Dirt Nasty, dude.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Dude, Nick was a huge fan when he was on here. Yeah.
That's right. I do remember that now. But,
fucking Randy.
yeah, Simon Rex is really good in this. But basically, the movie starts with him on a bus coming from California going to Texas, where he used to live, and he has a estranged wife there named Lexi. And he comes into town. He's like kind of like physically actually like beat up, and you could tell that he's running from something in from Los Angeles. And then he comes in, and then you can tell that his relationship with his wife is not great, but he kind of like cons himself and talks himself into staying at the house that she lives in with her mother. And then from there he's trying to get work and kind of like to be able to pay rent and kind of help them out. I don't want to go into too much, but it's really good. It's very funny at times. It's like also kind of icky at times. There's a plot in the movie that feels kind of gross. But it's really good. He's really good at finding good locations and people that feel very genuine that haven't acted before. I don't know if Simon Rex has been in stuff before, but I haven't really seen anybody else.
Scary Movie
5.
Is he? Tight. I think I went out on Scary Movie 2.
Coward.
But it looks great. They projected it in 35 millimeter, which was just cool to see. It wasn't as emotional as Florida Project. I think I like that one a little bit more, but this is also really good.
Now, tonally, look, we are all very big Sean Baker fans and supporters in this room, and we will continue to champion Sean Baker as Sean Baker is truly one of the greatest independent filmmakers that we have, and also as a big supporter of independent film. Same with sort of Jim Cummings, and we need to support all these people. Claim with Chloe Zhao before she sold out and made a Marvel movie that fucking no one cared about. But I'm glad Chloe got a nice check, and I think she'll go back to doing what she does best. Not again. I didn't see Eternal, so I should probably not
Yeah,
go into
nor
that.
did I.
Yeah, but anyway, so tonally, this one looked a little bit more comedic, and so
Yeah.
I thought maybe a little bit more Tangerine, possibly.
Yeah, definitely a little more Tangerine. Yeah, it's funny at times, and yeah, he's really good. He has very good chemistry with this female that he meets in a donut shop whose name I'm forgetting.
Now, Terrell, I showed him the trailer. He hadn't heard of the movie, and he was very into it. But he saw that donut shop, and he's like, "What the fuck? Do you have a donut fetish? What's going on here?" Because of the pivotal location in Tangerine. So what's up, Brandon?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I did make that connection when I was watching it, but I forgot about it until now. I don't know. Donuts are good. It's a good central like meeting spot. You get to hang out. You can nurse some coffee for like an hour and just
You can also eat donuts.
Yeah, Randy's not doing that.
donuts and
Also,
coffee.
my admitted man crush, JTT, mentioned if you ever go to Crowley, where his new film takes place, he said bomb donuts. So go get some donuts there.
Where's Crowley?
New Orleans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mister?
I know. Yeah.
Thank you.
It took me a minute. I was like, Mr. Crowley? What?
You're slacking, dude.
I know. I'm tired.
Okay. Yeah. No. All right. I'm glad. I really want to watch this, and anything Sean Baker does, man, we're there.
Sean Butcher Baker, candlestick maker.
Randy, movie number 2.
Last night I went to a actual sold out screening of Licorice Pizza. I bought 2 tickets.
Let me just jump in there. I fucking hate that title. Honestly, every time I've heard one of you two talk about it, I've gotten more and more enraged. I hate it. I just want to throw that out there for everybody. I don't care how prolific, or I know y'all like worship him. You want to wax his car. Licorice Pizza. Licorice Pizza Massacre. I hate him.
Randy, I got this one. I got this one. First of all, watch your tone. Second of all, Licorice Pizza, Randy, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think that Licorice Pizza was a record store in the San Fernando Valley in the 1970s. That
Correct.
PTA was a big fan of and would hang out there all the time. And this film is a little bit more, I don't want to say autobiographical, because it's actually someone else's story that he knows of growing up in the valley. But Paul Thomas Anderson is very tied to the San Fernando Valley, and a lot of his films, are very much, Boogie Nights is a big one. Hard Eight, I think, had some stuff in there, but the valley's obviously very close to him, and has always talked about it a lot. So I think that it's sort of a nostalgic piece from that. And he was just like, I was just trying to think of what to name the movie, and I liked that place, and that was just it fit.
Licorice Pizza is a hipster tattoo they get on their neck that was $10 on a quirky weekend. Flash art. That's what the fuck it is.
So are you saying you don't support small businesses?
How dare you?
Because that's what Licorice Pizza is.
I also love record stores too, but I also fucking hate the hipsters that make that their haunting ground. So fuck Licorice Pizza.
There weren't hipsters in the 70s.
Make it black licorice pizza. I'm in.
Gross.
First of all, it's Licorice Pizza.
Oh, Licorice. My bad.
Thank you. All right, Randy, continue.
All right, you got another movie, Randy?
Yep, that's it on Licorice Pizza. Everything Clark just said. It is a very nostalgic piece about the Valley in 1970s. This movie starring Alana Haim and Cooper Hoffman, Philip Seymour Hoffman's son. They're both great. They, haven't acted before in anything, I believe. Alana Haim is from the band Haim, so not traditionally an actor, but she's really good. They're both really good in it. They have also great chemistry. The movie, it definitely has a plot, but it's kind of takes place in like vignettes, sort of. But yeah, basically, the two of them meet. Cooper Hoffman and Alana Haim, their characters meet. She's working for like this photography place, and they're at his high school doing like yearbook photos or something. And they meet, and Cooper Hoffman's character is like flirting with her, and she's like, "You're like 12," and he's like, "I'm actually like 15 or whatever." But he's a kid actor, so he's on TV, so she kind of like knows who he is, and he's trying to flirt with her, and she's kind of reluctant. But yeah, the movie kind of follows their relationship and their friendship, and kind of like the back and forth between the two of them, and has a lot of other really great characters in it. Bradley Cooper's in it for a little bit. And he is insane in it. Sean Penn plays kind of like he plays William Holden in it. The actor, Tom Waits, is in it. Benny Safdie plays a politician in it. Yeah, a lot of really great people. It's shot beautifully. It's just a very transporting movie. Yeah, if you're able to kind of get into it, like it's I don't know, 2+ hours, but I didn't really feel the runtime at all. I kind of just like, it just kind of like washed over me now, just like in for the ride.
Is it top 5 PTA for you?
I don't know. Maybe. I haven't thought about the rankings.
So you haven't, do you have, let's call it hungry boy feelings?
I do love Phantom Thread. This is probably up there too.
Yeah,
I don't know what you mean by hungry boy feelings, but
that's what I'm saying, because I Phantom Thread's like up there for the top for you, isn't it?
Probably, yeah. It's also like one of his most different movies too, I feel, which I think was nice about Phantom Thread, because Licorice Pizza, as good as it is, it does feel kind of like a mix of Boogie Nights, Inherent Vice, and like Punch Drunk Love or something. It's like a coming of age comedy. But yeah.
See, I do like that, but man, The Master did something to me.
Yeah.
Because the first time I saw The Master, I didn't know where I was for the previous 2.5 hours. And but the more I think I've seen The Master 3 times now, and I've grown to appreciate it more and more each time. And I don't know, I like that side. I like the more, and obviously I think I appreciated there is let's be very clear. There Will Be Blood is pulpy, right?
Yeah.
And I love that of it as well. And don't get me wrong, there's pulp in The Master ain't pulp free, babe. Okay. All right, let's just be very clear. There's some pulp in there too, but I don't know. There's just a certain edginess that I think I may be missing here with a little bit of the Licorice Pizza. I want a little.
Did you watch it?
No, I'm just.
Oh,
I know
okay.
these are the feelings I'm having right now. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
I get that.
I'm definitely going to go see Licorice Pizza.
Yeah, like I don't know what it's actually rated. I don't really like pay attention to ratings anymore now that it doesn't really matter, but it does almost feel like a movie you could show teenagers, which like I wouldn't really say for most of his movies.
Wait, you don't pay attention to ratings anymore? What do you mean?
I don't know if you paid attention to ratings of films, since you could watch rated R films in a movie theater by yourself.
Oh, I thought you meant like 4-star, 5-star ratings.
Oh, no. I'm just saying, like, to Clark's point, that it feels maybe a little less, I don't know, edgy. It's it feels like a movie you can show a teenager or something.
But I mean, he was supposed to make Pinocchio, and if he made he made an R-rated Pinocchio, let's party. But we'll never have that because although they did remake Pinocchio and people liked it, and they put Benini in there. I don't know. I should watch that Pinocchio.
Hey,
next week.
Me, Pinocchio.
Hey, all right, Randy. Anything else, Bab?
I will just quickly mention, but I won't go too far into it because I'm sure people have much more smartly covered it before. But I watched the 4-hour film by Sion Sono, Love Exposure, this morning. and it's wild. It's good.
What?
That's
I don't know. Have you guys seen it? I know
confusing
Clark
tease,
hasn't seen it.
No, because you were like, "This is highly controversial." So I want to know, why is it controversial? We got,
It's not really controversial. I was just playing off of a text that you sent, but basically, it's a 4-hour movie where a kid who has a Catholic priest father essentially bullies him into admitting that he's sinning. And because the kid is just boring and doesn't really like do anything, he starts lying at confession, admitting to sins that he didn't commit. So then he kind of has like a penchant for committing actual sins. And so he gets into this underground world of upskirt photography.
Oh,
And,
so he goes to Japan.
I mean, it's a Japanese movie. Yeah, it takes place in Japan, but yeah.
Sion Sono, yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
Wait, did you say blow him into confessing?
I don't
Bully.
believe so. No.
Bully. Okay, I'm sorry. I laughed.
I thought he said boiled.
Yeah, and then I thought he said bored, but I said blow him into confessing. I'm like, that's a hell of a, I don't know, manipulation
Yeah.
tactic.
4-hour blowjob? Whoa, dude.
That's controversial.
Yeah.
But
Also,
yeah, I don't
snuggie.
pronunciate very well sometimes, so that's probably the issue.
No.
But yeah, it's an insane movie. If you've seen Cold Fish or any other Sion Sono films, I would definitely recommend checking out Love Exposure.
How did you watch it?
I rented it on disc, Blu-ray.
Oh, boo. Russell, rip it and we'll watch it tonight.
All right.
From
All right.
Videodrome.
Enough plugging your Atlanta bullshit. We're over this fancy town you live in now, okay? Make us sound
It's
like we're in the
good.
dark ages over here.
I know.
I don't like
You
it.
guys got stuff there. Does Alamo still have the video store?
Yeah, they do. Video Vortex, a confusing
Yeah.
title on a great series that they don't do anymore, at least out here.
Alamo's dead, dude.
Again, shout out to Mike Keegan, who showed Black Magic in Theater 1 to 8 people. Me and Oksana were 2 of them. That was one of my best memories ever at the Alamo. If you other 6 are listening right now, hey, what's up?
I saw a lot of movies over the last 3 weeks. I'm not going to talk about 99% of those. I will talk about 1, maybe 2. The number 1 movie that I will talk about right now is a movie from director Jane Campion. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know a lot about Jane Campion because I don't. So I won't. What I do know is that she's a well-respected director, and that's cool. This is The Power of the Dog. This was billed to me as a Western with Benedict Cumberbatch, and nothing sounds more Western than Benedict Cumberbatch.
Wait, so the Power of the Dog is like a 10th horsepower, right?
We're gonna get there. Charismatic rancher Phil Burbank inspires fear and awe in those around him. When his brother brings home a new wife and her son, Phil torments them until he finds himself exposed to the possibility of love. This is based on a novel by Thomas Savage and was adapted to the screen by Jane Campion, starring the aforementioned Benedict Cumberbatch. We've also got Kirsten Dunst. We also have Kirsten Dunst's real-life husband, who plays her on-screen husband, as Jesse Plemons, and Cody Smith McPhee. Now, I will say, this movie really caught me by surprise. Now, again, I had not heard anything about this movie until I saw this movie everywhere. I felt like I was living in the darkness, and then I was just surrounded by light, and all that light was talking about The Power of the Dog, because this is a big Netflix release.
Oh,
and
okay.
I have a jilted relationship with Netflix. And mainly because Netflix confuses me with their selection with their films. Because I feel like lately they've been going really hard on reality garbage and foreign language.
Oh, okay.
And then they'll sprinkle some stuff in. And this is a sprinkle. but The Power of the Dog is a sprinkle. This is an art house sprinkle that they'll. I mean, am I wrong here? Because like Charlie Kaufman,
Yeah.
that movie, and I love that movie, but my God, that should not have been a Netflix movie, right? So it's I am far too pedestrian in my intellectual prowess to try and figure out Netflix's algorithm and how they want to carry on their business. But I am thankful that I was able to watch this movie on Netflix. So there we go. This is a Western, but this is I don't know if a single gun was fired in this Western. Randy, do you remember?
I don't think so. One of my friends asked me that the other day. So I said, he's like, is it even a Western? I was like, it's a movie that takes place in the West.
Here's my thing. I love Westerns, and it doesn't have to be a shoot 'em up. You know what I mean? I like...
You like a Lemonade Joe?
Lemonade Joe's great.
Yeah.
By the way, there are guns in Lemonade Joe. Was Lemonade Joe Danish? Was that a Danish Western?
I just remember it was a musical.
It was great.
Yeah.
Lemonade Joe was a wonderful surprise. Thank you, Charlie, who brought that to our attention 14 years ago, it feels like. Power of the Dog, I think they shot in New Zealand. Beautiful country. And I don't know. I get lost in that landscape, and the dialogue is all done very well. And essentially, you've got Benedict Cumberbatch, who plays, he is Jesse Plemons' brother in this, and they are ranchers, and they run a very successful business. And Jesse Plemons kind of handles the business end, and Phil, Benedict Cumberbatch's character, he's the one getting his hands dirty. And he's the one that everyone kind of answers to, and he runs the ship, basically, and people fear him. Well, they get into a town, and Phil starts to cause a ruckus with Kirsten Dunst's son, played by Cody Smith McPhee, and
he's the interesting looking boy.
Okay, very very thin, great actor, and his physicality, because he's always been petite and pale, but boy, he has never been more petite and more pale here.
He was in The Road and Let Me In.
Oh yeah, no, he's all over the place. He was also in another great Western,
X-Men Dark Phoenix,
with Fassbender. Randy, what was the name of that one? Slow West. Yeah, he was in Slow West as well. I really like this kid. He's great. He's probably 37 years old. So he plays he's got a lisp. And it's, and this is, we're talking early 1900s.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're 1920 maybe, if memory serves. And, obviously time is much different then. And the treatment of, homosexuals is a completely different subject than what it is today. And Phil kind of gives him a hard time. And as it turns out, Jesse Plemons ends up marrying Kirsten Dunst, and then the son is a bigger part of the picture. And but as the story develops, they develop a kinship, and then we start to learn some more things about Phil's history, and that's kind of where I'll leave it here. This is a beautiful film. These are deep characters that there's a lot of backstory here, and everything is just played beautifully. And I really enjoyed this. And frankly, it's an emotional thing. And yes, it is getting highly praised, because this is it's a not quite broken back mountain. Because there is
a humpback mountain.
It is humpback mountain. That's good. I thank you for that. Because
hunchback mountain.
There is no. It shows no physicality here. It shows no acts of sexual congress, and that is between man and a woman or a man on a man. But Boy, do we certainly. That doesn't mean that it is not. There's sexual tension all over the place, and that sort of thing. But again, big. I've been sleeping on Jane Campion for a while. I don't know. I just kind of. That's not really my scene, I guess. I certainly respect her. Randy, have you ventured into Miss Campion's works?
No, I pretty much know the same as you. I know that the piano is really good.
I know the piano, yeah.
But I haven't seen anything she's done. I just know that she's well regarded by critics.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, that really wasn't the selling point with me. The selling point was, Mr. British fancy pants in a Western. I'm like, okay, let's give it a shot. And I was really, really impressed, and I really liked The Power of the Dog. Very good.
Would you recommend it to like fans of Westerns though? It feels like it was a good drama, but like, are there horses in here?
Oh, we got horses.
Are we doing like a one
Here's the thing. The characters are so, you would enjoy this movie. Yeah. You would get something out of this because there are no angels in this thing, and everyone is deeply flawed. Okay. Mm-hmm. And that all gets brought to the surface here. And just the performances and how rich the characters are. Frankly, I'm kind of, semi-interested in reading the novelization of this story. It has at least crossed my mind, and that's step one. Typically, I don't reach step two, but, I'm working on that.
Yeah.
I would talk to my therapist about it, but I canceled therapy. So, Power of the Dog, highly recommend. Also, briefly, want to mention that I also, along with Randall, saw House of Gucci, and I wanted to say that when I saw House of Gucci, I was higher than an eagle's pecker, and I had a great time.
You're talking altitude. You're on the plane.
I also get high on the plane too, but I would have loved to have seen it on the plane.
Oh, you weren't on. Oh, okay, no, you were just doing drugs. Great.
No, that it would have taken 2 plane rides between San Francisco and Phoenix to watch the entirety of House of Gucci, because I think it's like 230, 240.
Every movie's 2.5 hours now these days.
238, and let me tell you something. It flies by because it's a mess.
Because you were on a plane.
It's fun, though. I had fun. Lady Gaga, I'm pretty sure, is doing a Russian accent.
Oh, no.
And she's supposed to be Italian. I really like her, though.
The only thing I know about this movie is that Randy wouldn't stop texting us how hot Lady Gaga was.
That was me.
That was
Clark started it. Clark started it.
Lady Gaga's hot. She's hot in this. I'm a fan.
We're back in the text thread. You and Randy just like, I think she's hotter.
Just dudes hot. Being dudes.
I love how Jeremy Irons doesn't even try to do an Italian accent. He's just doing his Jeremy Irons thing. And Pacino, he's going for it. Adam Driver, Randy, I think this is one of Adam Driver's best performances. I really do. Just the subtlety of everything, and just his introduction into the story where he's just wandering behind the bar and he doesn't know why he's there. It just set it up perfectly. And there are problems with this movie. I want to be very clear, but that scene was great. And there are some really good things in this movie. There are some really terrible things. There was one part I had to stifle my laughter because no one else was laughing in the theater. And this was a pretty full theater, by the way. Mm-hmm. Smaller theater than the AMC. But it was, let's call it 70% full. There's a part, Russell, that they get married, okay? And it is like a 3 or 4 minute marriage scene where they're exchanging their vows, and we do the whole thing. And playing in the background is "You Gotta Have Faith" by George Michael. And it makes no goddamn sense. It is so fucking weird. Mm-hmm. And you understand why, because they're just really hitting you on the head because of, what's happening later on in the story of like, you gotta have faith. He's gotta have faith in her, even though she's the one who's going to end up killing him. Read the headlines. I'm not spoiling anything. Fuck you. He died 30 years ago. So, boy, that was terrible. And I am still adamant, and I will take this to my grave, that the wrong Scott brother died and that Tony should still be with us because I like Tony more. Ridley's he's a clown.
I gotta watch his fantasy movie.
I'm not gonna watch that.
I've been meaning to, dude. It's just been too busy.
You didn't expand on any Jared Leto thoughts.
Thank you. Jared Leto.
Also, you guys had a text message thread where you're both talking about how hot he was. So I'm dying to hear.
Yeah,
that.
especially in this movie.
Let me explain something to you. I will be the first to talk about when a man is attractive.
So Jim Cummins only.
0% attracted to Jared Leto. Jared, you look in his eyes, you know something's off.
Yeah, Nightcrawler,
Okay.
Best movie ever. But that's not Jared
Just
Leto.
not just Gyllenhaal, you idiot. God, you're the worst.
So I'm
Gyllenhaal is hot.
You're on a
I'm
movie
fine.
show.
I know.
God.
I'll explain when it's my turn.
No, Jared, there is something upsetting and unsettling about Jared Leto. But let me tell you, in this movie, he is absolutely 100% bonkers. I mean, it is his accent is just like this.
Oh.
Papa, I am a Gucci. I am a Gucci daddy. Look at my designs. It's so beautiful. Mwah. That's what he's doing for 2 hours and 45 minutes. It's wild.
Don't make me watch this movie.
Russell, if you watch it,
Stop.
pop a couple gummies and let's have a good time.
Papa cup of gummy.
Papa, we are Gucci. We take the marijuana orally. Man, I had fun with House of Gucci. I just want to be on the record.
All right. Is it my turn now? All right. Let me start off by saying that when Clark was gone, I thought it would be fun
When Clark was gone.
to
Ooh.
continue, and I was like, it'll be easy. It ended up being a lot more work.
Randy, cut that out.
And then on top of that, we still have the film fest in the background, and Oksana, you look like you're dying right now. I apologize, Clark. During your whole thing, I just could not stop yawning. It's not because of you. I think my brain is shutting down. For the past 3 nights, I've been up to 3 a.m. We had a white elephant party last night. We ended up dropping off our final guest and got home past 3. Before that, we were at another Hole in the Head where we were doing karaoke from 7 p.m. to Roughton 2 a.m.
Why?
Do you want to know how much money we spent
You
at
are
that bar?
49 years old.
We ran up a bar tab of $300, and I haven't drank like that in a very long time. Incredible! It's so much fun. I think I'm dying right now, though. Like my body's shutting down. I'm losing vision.
You gotta take a liquid IV, dude.
So it's a good thing that I remembered to do the plugs, which I totally forgot to do earlier. Right now, Vanessa Morgan was so nice and had me and Oksana back to write another essay for her in Evil Seeds, the ultimate movie guide to villainous children. Again, Oksana wrote about Sinister?
Yeah.
Okay, you wrote about Sinister. I have no idea what I wrote about. What did I write about? Brightburn.
Brightburn.
I love Brightburn. Thank you, Clark. I feel like a computer where Windows is shutting down to do a restart, and I'm racing against it. Our good friend, powerful director, soon to be a huge star, Robbie Smith, has an Indiegogo going. Get in there. Give him money. He needs it because he's going to be a fucking fantastic filmmaker with a large career. Also, he did merch for us.
He is a fantastic filmmaker.
He is.
And he will have a large
Thank you. Honestly, you should be doing these. But you've
I
been
don't know
gone,
why you're doing it before you're doing your movie.
because I forgot to do it way earlier.
We do it at the end.
No, normally I've been doing it before Lynch.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
I could stop.
Daddy's home now.
Okay, you're back.
Thank
Okay, and again, I just want to mention Robbie did all the merch for us, the great Halloween stuff that is now gone. You missed it. Go ahead, kick yourself. Fucking wallow in misery. It's gone. And as of this time, we're recording on Sunday. I've not pulled it down. If it's still up there, don't hold me to it. Again, I'm dying right now. But it should be gone. And that's your fault. Also, up 5. We still got submissions open. And this week, I'm going to talk about the movie I talked about in the last interview with our buddy Jorge and Dane. We got Bride of Shadow Zombie. We watched the world premiere at Another Hole in the Head in the hidden yet fantastic New People Cinema and it's a great film. I highly recommend you go out and watch Shadow Zombie. So I think Another Hole in the Head is going to be like, it's got one more day by the time this episode goes up. So if you want to jump online and watch it, you can. I'm not sure how much money that's going to cost you, but it's a beautiful indie horror film. I mean, I started calling Jason Banker and Jorge Torres-Torres' work empathy horror, and the first sentence in the synopsis that Jorge wrote, let me go ahead and read that right now. It says, fact and fiction intertwine in this empathy horror tale set deep in Cajun country with a cast entirely composed of friends that grew up together in the 90s. Now, first off, thank you, Jorge, for taking that. And Clark shaking his head.
Yeah, I feel the blood rushing to your penis as you're talking.
That would be true if I weren't currently shutting down against my will. Bride of Shadow Zombie is fantastic. We have mixed media. There's a story. There's a deep drama here centered around Kim, who is the titular Shadow Zombie. And in the first one, I remember I talked about it at length. Me and Jasadi are big fans. There's a digital ghost, and akin to Koji, our favorite found footage director, this ghost kind of represents depression, and it will show up at the weirdest fucking times. Like Kim could be having a great interaction with this girl that he's currently dating, and the phantom will appear. And not only is it it's very jarring to look at in this beautifully shot film, but it's also just, it's there, and you know it's a part of him. And in Bride of Shadow Zombie, the digital ghost isn't there anymore. Instead, we have actual home footage of all the people in this film. And again, Bride of Shadow Zombie shot this year. He shot it earlier this year in 2021, and it's COVID town in New Orleans, and Mardi Gras is not happening. So you have a character who's dealing with depression. Something happened to his romance at the end of Shadow Zombie that he's still dealing with, and he's now haunted by a new form of ghost, a new form of digital ghost, which is home movies and memory. And there are 3 different timelines enacted here while he's trying to rekindle a band with a long lost friend. When I first watched Bride of Shadow Zombie before we talked to Jorge and Dane, I was still kind of like struggling with it because the visual palette is so different. Again, he introduces a drone, which I've never seen in any of his movies. And we get a David Simon kind of like the town as a character with Crowley. And I almost had like a Malignant moment where I'm like, I don't know what to do here. The influences are so different. Like Harmony Korine never flew a drone. I didn't see that in Toad Road. And when I watched it again in the theater, man, ooh, it hit me. And I was there with friends. I wasn't about to be tearing up or anything. So I had to Randy up. I buried my emotion, and I went and drank. And it was fantastic. I highly recommend this film. Again, Shadow Zombie, the first one, is available on Amazon Prime. It's $1.99 to rent, $4.99 to buy. Just buy it. And if you're listening to this Tuesday, the day that this episode goes up, you have one more day until Hole in the Head is done. And I don't know how much that would cost you, but it's worth it. Support our boy. Randy, you got to get into these films of Jason and Jorge. I really think you'll like them. Clark, I don't know.
I like Fat Tuesday.
Oh, I forgot you watched that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Again, I love you to death. I'm so glad you're home. Randy, you're beautiful. I'm glad that you moved your camera into the kitchen so we could talk about your oven. Oksana, I strongly like you, and maybe we could hang out later. But I am shutting down. I feel so rude for yawning this much and for doing the plugs. I will never do them again. They're yours, Clark.
Thank you so much. Get some sleep.
No, I'm ready to eat now. I think we're going to order some Indian food, right? She's already got it pulled up. Okay, you know what? I upgraded.
Yeah.
I love you.
I would hope.
All right. Well, thank you. Get better. Get some rest. Randy, goodbye.